Okay, day 66. Merry Christmas, everyone. This is the first version, first Christmas version. And I'm enjoying Camtasia because I'm able to do a lot more analysis rather than just raw reporting. And I think analysis, you get a 10x factor, and somebody else analyzes your analysis, you get 100x. And then you analyze their analysis of your analysis, you get 1000x. So you really get to the, if we were doing uranium, we'd be getting to HEU on the third turn. And that's the idea here is intelligence from raw data. So the first one, and I'm just going to do the Twitter feed yesterday because there was so many leads that came from the Twitter feed. This is the picture of the Rodin's funeral. These are the 8 truckers that are killed down by Cincinnati. Of course, Saipov, our person who runs down people with the truck, with the rented truck in Chelsea, is also associated with them, and he has a trucking company very close to them. Then you also have R&L Trucking, which has been cited for illegal drug trade and illegal cigarette trade. The two go together, all in that Cincinnati area, that Clinton County, our famous Diane Court sheriff down there. But here is kind of the analysis I like to do is here's the wife beater, a guy wearing a wife beater to a funeral of 8 people, and he's obviously just taking pictures of everybody at the funeral. This is your G4S guy. This is your G4S guy. This is when you bring operatives in, you use them. They don't care anything about social conventions of wearing a tie to a funeral and whatnot. They just want reprisals. They just want revenge. They see everyone else here as friends and family, as extended targets. I know that sounds incredible, but if you look at Gladio, you look at Gladio B, you look at Gladio C, it's the consistent theme. Develop your gangs for security. These are your gangs for security. And if not, why wouldn't the G4S people actually go through training? Why wouldn't they have their pictures published? Why wouldn't their activities and payments by DHS be published? Why wouldn't they be sworn officers? Why wouldn't they go to accredited training schools, etc.? So that's my first comment there about gangs for security. And again, if you look at Europe, Gladio, Asia, Gladio B, US and Europe, Gladio C, this is the repeating theme. Develop your own ratliners. You can get them from anywhere, usually prisons or parole or drug clinics. They'll do anything for you. Okay, so I was 20 miles away when I was going to the Rodins and going to interview the mother before I got parallel constructed. So I published this thing last night about Benazir Bhutto, and most people kind of forgot about Benazir Bhutto. She was elected twice, obviously a very beautiful woman as well, well-spoken.
There was one report that said that you had arranged to send President Musharraf a letter to be sent in the event of your death by assassination, urging him to investigate certain individuals in his government. Is that true?
Yeah. And so obviously she was very outspoken and very brave, and she paid for it with her life. But one of the things she said here was that there was a top-level ISI person that was involved, and someone on the channel said the Awans were involved in that.
Even the beautiful valley of Swat is now under takeover by Islamists. So I would like to see a park-led police inquiry assisted by Scotland Yard or the FBI come in, use their forensic and scientific explanation to find out not only...
Yeah, so anyway, she said it was a high-level person, so that'd be an interesting lead there to see if there was an Awan in that investigation. Here's Crowdsource of Truth. Congratulations to them, up to 37,000. They're going to pass me pretty soon. That's great news. Be great, we used to have folks that were kind of developed here on this channel kind of go there and do long-form interviews. I'd love that to continue, the Robin Gritz type of thing. I'd like to see that continue with some of the people that I'll talk about now. Thanks very much for all the Christmas wishes. This was really great to receive. I felt like I had a huge family sitting by the Christmas tree with me last night. And new names keep coming up. This Mary Jacoby. People made the comments about the wives, follow the wives. Here you have Mary Jacoby providing you a social media stream for evidence. You have Nellie Orr. You have Lisa Barsumian, which is really Lisa Rosenstein. All providing more people to subpoena, witnesses to subpoena to actually get to the truth. Here was what I was talking about, long-form interviews. In this investigation of Hezbollah, in this Hezbollah car ring, the theft ring with the drugs and the money laundering and so forth, and this getting honed down to this car dealership, the CIA car dealership in Falls Church, Virginia, there's going to be several investigators along the way here that I'd love to see do a long form interview with somebody, One American Network or someone, because they're going to tell the story. There's this DEA investigator by the name of Kelly. There is this person named Asher who's in the Department of Treasury. There's another person in Department of Treasury by the name of Bauer who testified in front of Congress. So I'd like to kind of keep getting their names, keep moving down, looking at their social media stream first, and then asking them questions, hopefully on Twitter, engaging them on Twitter, and then hopefully even in a long-form interview on something like One American Network or one of the other YouTube channels. Now, this name came out yesterday. I kind of fumbled it a little bit because I was going from my iPhone. But Gia Colon was the number 2 guy who got unseated by Andrew McCabe. There was a fake Crackers with Attitude hack. And then this is what Andy always does. He always gets some, third party fake to, do the hack. But they've got the most advanced, Vault 7 or Vault 8 tools. So I think of Gia, I think of that famous model, and then calzone, just with a Z there. So just think of Gia eating a calzone, and then drop the Z. So just a Calone. Gia Colon, but he was the guy who was forced out by Andy. He's going to obviously have contacts to Thomas Paine. Hopefully those guys will leak more information. Again, no reason to wait. No reason to wait. Everybody says, oh, Thomas is going to drop something at the beginning of the year. Don't wait. Who knows how long you're going to live? So every day is a gift, believe me. So here's Mark Lampert, Transport Logistics. If you follow the story, these are the guys that are doing the Uranium One all over the country. They're probably going to be involved in the Finicum case. Believe it or not, they're going to be involved in the Nevada case as well as the Oregon case with the Bundys. As far as is really the Bundy case and the Finicum case, is it really just kind of doing what was happening in Congo and the other Frank Giustra companies, just kind of brought to the United States? Hey, we'll discredit these people because we know how to do discredit, really well with Fusion GPS. We'll make them out to be weirdos or, whatever, and we'll do Saturday Night Live skits about them, and then we'll take all their stuff. Maybe is that what was happening? And then I've talked before about this Greg 4 in a row, which was a split off from Transport Logistics, which did this STX, which is the sports transportation. Some people say TX means transportation, sports transportations. And they're doing soccer balls from Sialcott. I just thought that was an interesting combination. Now it turns out they turn up in the Panama Papers, and they turn up as a kind of a pass-through in Switzerland for a company called Invicta. And they do manufacture products in Pakistan. So I thought that was an interesting combination of soccer balls and uranium. Now the only thing they really share is the Uzbeki trucking line through Kazakhstan. So for people who say the Awans are not related to Mark Lambert up there, Transport Logistics, they've never been to the Port of Baltimore, they never picked any rice up at the Port of Baltimore. Explain that one to me. Okay, this famous, Andy McCabe sending a letter to James Comey saying, this is a heavyweight. The guy who leaked these 650,000 emails from Huma's thing, this started this series, this guy's a heavyweight. And then the guy says, Comey comes back and says, oh, it's just John telling his DOJ yarns. Well, I think John is going to be John Giacolone. I think it's going to be John Giacolone. I think that's who he's talking about. And that means he's going to be a witness in my case. So this is all about developing witnesses and getting to the truth. I made a little comment about Fort Detrick here. It seems like we don't do bioweapons in America anymore. We farm it out. We farm it out and create a private partnership with Frank Giustra, and we build it through a secret program. We build it through a secret CIA program in Karachi. Okay. So, and the other one I wanted to drill down on is, again, my name, Usman Ashraf. Who is Usman Ashraf? My name is not on the DNC hacker server. This is the DNC hacker server in Pakistan. My name, Usman Ashraf, is not on there. Who is investigating this? Who is Usman Ashraf? Okay. Now, there's a couple of different doctors that are Usman Ashraf, and there's a couple of different people that are here in Virginia that are in the kind of the trusted network thing, the kind of person that Teresa Grafenstein would hire, drilling down and finding out and doing a long form interview with this guy, and finding out, hey, Usman, let's talk about it. Why did you have the servers in Pakistan? First, get the right one, but why did you have the servers in Pakistan? why was stuff going, on an hourly basis from here in the U.S. Congress and the DNC and the DCCC down to you in Pakistan to this server right on the border of the Kashmir, right on the, right where all the terrorists are. It's hard to explain that. So anyway, the last thing is I'll talk about this Mufti getting killed in Harrisburg, and this is one of the great things about retracing the steps from Saylorsburg and Gulen, and the place where Gulen, I had said many times before, in Saylorsburg, he has this compound. It's the center of all drug activity in North America, and he harbors fugitives. And in order to get out of this Saylorsburg, you've got to come through Harrisburg. You've got to come through Harrisburg. And if you get pulled over or stopped, you're not going to make it to the port of Newark. I believe the port of Newark, I believe through the chapel in the port of Newark or through the mosque, they have these little places where the different people working on the boats can pray. I believe that's where they're being secreted in and out of the port of Newark. Jason and I went there. And when you get stopped, you have to shoot the cop to get away. And this is what happened. Then they killed him. I believe he was trying to get away. I think El Mufti, if you look at him, was related to the different Egyptian operations. And the first big Egyptian operation that I can remember is obviously the Braverman bombing, when they were kind of warning Braverman to shut up before the election, which is on September the 15th. That is quite a tour de force